I'm here to talk to you guys about the messaging tab today. In order to get to the messaging tab, head over to any student record and then click the gray messaging tab here. By default, you'll end up in the emails tab. Um, some of the things we can track here is any outgoing communication. Um, so if you see here, I have a invoice that ended up going out here. So that gets tracked here. I have my students' progress summary that also gets tracked here, and also their student portal invite. So any communication that leaves the system can also be tracked here in the emails tab. So that's nice just to keep track of that. If you do want to compose your own emails, you can hit the compose button, and under two, you'll have some options. In my case, I have Mark, who's my student, and Mark's mom, who's the only parent contact that I've added. If you've added more, you'll have more options here. I'm just going to go ahead and send a quick message here just to show you guys what that looks like. Pretty simple, pretty quick, pretty fast. The next thing we have here is the texting tab. So sometimes it can be hard to reach our students via email. So it's nice to have that additional communication method. The first thing you'll see here is Mark's name and then Mark's mom's name. Who is actually grayed out right now. And the reason why she's grayed out is because you have to send a message to the student before any of the parent contacts are activated. So we have a pre-populated welcome message here that you can send to your students. All you have to do is click send, and now you'll see that Mark's mom has now been activated. But what does this really look like when the student replies? So you can see that we're not necessarily tracking any names here. You'll notice that the message that you sent shows up under the counselor icon, and you'll notice that when the student replies here, it gets sent under the grad cap icon. So that's how you see how that communication is coming back and forth. And all of that is done here within the portal on your end. There are some options, which I'll show you in settings at the end. But this is how you can get started with texting. The next thing and the last thing that I'll show you guys here in messaging is the Chat with Student portal. Chat with Student portal is pretty convenient because it keeps your students in the app. If your students go out and check their emails, that's then a potential distraction. If they see something else, who knows when they're going to make it back to their portal. So it's nice to be able to send messages back and forth. These IMs are pretty instantaneous, so it's pretty good to be discussing certain things when they're already here on the platform. So what real options do we have when it comes to texting? Let's click on our name at the top right, go to settings, and here we're going to have texting set up on the left. So the first thing that we have here is text forwarding. And right now I have this turned on, meaning that any messages that get sent out here from the system automatically go to my phone, and I can also reply directly from my phone. So I have the option to either send that text from CounselMore, or I can send that text from my phone if I'm not by my computer. Where you can set these phone numbers, your business cell phone and your landline, in theory, even though this says landline, it shouldn't work. But if this is your actual cell phone, it'll still work. But if you go to my business setup here, you'll have your business cell phone text field, and then you'll have your business landline. But if this happens to be a cell phone number under landline, and it happens to be selected here like you see in mine, it'll still end up going through. The other two options here are to send a text message whenever you send a student an assignment summary report. So that report will let them know what assignments they have coming up or what they should be working on. You can turn that to on if you want them to be alerted via text too. And you can also have the option to alert your students via text whenever you send out a broadcast message. So those are a few options here worth considering in texting setup once you have that set up.